Two men in Florence had exactly the same number of coins, and the boy could not stop thinking about how differently their lives were going. By every measure he had been taught to use, they were equal. The same modest wage, the same small room, the same empty chest at the end of a hard month. And yet one of them was slowly, quietly rising, and the other was sinking, and had been sinking his whole life. The coins were identical. The men were not, and the boy realized, watching them, that the true distance between a broke man and a free man is not measured in money at all. It is measured in something invisible, in who a person has become on the inside. The coins only ever follow. He came to see it as a kind of metamorphosis, like a creature that must pass through stages to become what it will finally be. You cannot skip a stage. You cannot leap from the first to the last. And most importantly, the outward change, the money, is never the cause of the transformation. It is the result of it. The man changes first, on the inside, and the coins rearrange themselves around the new man afterward. There are 5 of these stages between broke and free, and every person alive is standing in one of them right now. So as we walk through them, do the honest thing and find yourself, not where you wish you were, where you actually are. The first stage is the victim, and it is a prison that exists entirely in the mind, long before money ever enters the question. The boy watched the sinking man closely, and what struck him was not laziness or stupidity. It was a single, unshakable belief that colored everything, that his life was happening to him. Whatever went wrong was the fault of the world, the unfair masters, the rigged game, the bad luck, the cruel times, the people who had wronged him. And the boy understood that there was often real truth in these complaints. The world was unfair to him. The game was tilted. But the man had done something quietly fatal with that truth. He had used it to conclude that nothing he did could matter, and a person who believes nothing he does can matter will, quite logically, do nothing. The sign of this stage is unmistakable once you know it. The victim speaks far more about the people who wronged him than about anything he intends to do. His story is a list of what was done to him, and it never quite arrives at what he will do next. He is not building a case for his future. He is building a case for why his present is not his fault. And that case, however true, is a cage. Because every hour spent proving the world is to blame is an hour not spent on the one small thing still within his power. The gate out of this stage is the hardest gate of all, and it costs nothing and everything at once. It is simply to stop handing your power to your circumstances. To admit that yes, the world is unfair, and also that something, however small, remains in your own hands. Most people never pass through this gate, not because they lack money, but because they cannot yet see that the cage is on the inside, and that they are, quietly, the ones holding the key. But the second stage begins the instant a person sees a single truth they can no longer pretend not to have seen. The second stage begins in a single instant, the moment a person sees a truth they can no longer unsee. The boy came to think of it as the awakening, and he could sometimes watch it happen to a man in real time, like a light coming on behind the eyes. It arrives when a person suddenly perceives, for the first time, that there was a game being played all along, that money moves by rules, that those rules exist and can be learned, and that no one ever taught them to him. The man who was a victim believed the world simply happened to him. The awakened man sees all at once that the world runs on patterns he was never shown, and that he has been losing a game he did not even know he was playing. It is one of the most powerful moments in the whole metamorphosis, because for the first time, the cage door appears, and he realizes it was never locked. But the boy noticed that this stage is made of raw and dangerous emotion, and it can go two ways. There is anger, a hot, bitter anger at having been kept in the dark, at the years lost, at every person who let him believe effort alone would be enough. And there is hope, sudden, almost dizzying, the intoxicating feeling of finally understanding something. The two burn together and the mixture is intense. A man in the awakening feels more alive than he has in years. He feels for the first time that everything could change, and that feeling is exactly the danger. Because the sign of this stage, the thing that reveals a man is stuck in it, is that he consumes endlessly and acts not at all. He listens, he learns, he gathers truth after truth, and each new insight gives him another jolt of that intoxicating feeling that he is transforming. But he never moves. He mistakes the feeling of awakening for actual change. He collects revelations the way another man collects coins, and grows convinced that because he now sees so clearly, he must be becoming free, when in truth, he is standing in exactly the same spot, only better informed about why he is stuck. The boy watched men spend years here, trapped in the most seductive stage of all. They became addicted to awakening. They loved the rush of the new idea, the sense of secret knowledge, the feeling of superiority over the sleeping victims around them. And they never noticed that for all their insight, their lives had not moved a single inch. Knowing the rules of the game is not the same as playing it. A man can memorize every rule and still never place a single piece on the board. The gate out of this stage is to turn revelation into motion, to take one real action while the fire is still hot before the excitement cools and hardens back into the old helplessness, because that is the cruel gravity of the awakening. If a man does not act on what he sees, the seeing eventually fades, and he sinks back quietly into the victim he was, only now with the added bitterness of having glimpsed the door and failed to walk through it. Insight has a shelf life. A truth you see but never use does not stay a truth forever. It curdles into regret. The third stage belongs only to those who take that first real step, and it is, without question, the most painful of them all. The third stage belongs only to those who take the first real step, and the boy watched it break more people than any other, because it is the stage where a man finally acts and discovers that acting is not enough. He came to call it the Struggling Apprentice, and it is the most painful part of the whole metamorphosis. The man has awakened, and this time he has moved. He is doing the things now, truly trying, putting real effort toward becoming free. But here is the cruelty of it. He has changed his actions while still carrying every one of his old instincts. He acts, but he acts out of fear. He moves, but he moves in a rush, wanting the reward this month. He is ashamed of how little he knows, and he makes every mistake a beginner makes, because he is a beginner. And the results, when they come at all, are small and slow and deeply discouraging. He was promised transformation, and what he gets is a long stretch of trying hard and seeing almost nothing. The boy understood that this is the valley between knowing and being, the widest, darkest stretch of the entire journey. A man in this stage knows what he should do, but he has not yet become the kind of person who does it easily. Every right action still costs him enormous effort, because it runs against instincts built over a lifetime. He saves, and it hurts. He waits, and it feels unbearable. He risks, and the fear nearly stops him. He is doing everything correctly, and it feels from the inside like failing. Because the ease has not come yet, and the results have not come yet, and all he has is the grinding effort with no proof that any of it is working. The sign of this stage is a specific and lonely feeling. You're genuinely trying, and you feel like an imposter doing it, and you see almost nothing in return. You look at the men still asleep and envy how untroubled they are. You look at the free men above you and cannot imagine ever reaching them. You are in the exact middle, which is the hardest place to stand, because behind you is comfort, and ahead of you is only more struggle with no visible end. And this is precisely why almost everyone quits here. Not at the beginning. The beginning is exciting. They quit in the middle, in the second year, in the long gray stretch where the roots are forming underground and nothing has yet broken the surface. They conclude, reasonably, that it isn't working, that they aren't cut out for it, that the whole thing was a lie, and they slide back down, often all the way to the victim, now armed with fresh proof that trying is pointless. The tragedy is that they abandon the climb at the very moment they were closest to crossing, mistaking the darkest part of the tunnel for a wall. The gate out of this stage has only one key, and it is the least glamorous of them all: persistence through the emptiness. To keep doing the right things when they still feel like failing. To trust the roots you cannot see. This is the filter of the entire journey. The stage that separates the people who merely talk about becoming free from the ones who actually become it. Everyone can awaken. Almost no one can endure the valley. But the one who does endure it arrives at last at a stage where something extraordinary happens. The effort, for the first time, stops hurting. The fourth stage arrives so quietly that the boy noticed most men could not name the day it began. There was no triumph, no sudden fortune, only a moment somewhere in the long grind when a man realized that the thing which used to cost him everything now cost him nothing at all. He called it the silent builder, and it is the stage where the metamorphosis finally shows itself. The habits that once took all of a man's willpower, saving before spending, waiting instead of grasping, choosing the wise thing over the easy one, have stopped being a battle. They run on their own now. He does not wake each morning and force himself to be disciplined. He simply is disciplined, the way a man is right-handed, without thought or strain. The struggle of the valley has done its slow work, and the effort has become identity. He is no longer a man trying to act like a wealthy man. He has quietly become one, on the inside, where it counts. And this is when the coins finally begin to answer. The boy noticed that for the silent builder, results arrive the way the sunrise arrives after a long night. Slowly at first, and then seemingly all at once. The small streams he built in the painful years have grown. The habits have compounded. The money that ignored him during the struggle now begins to move toward him. Not because his luck changed, but because he changed, and the coins are only now catching up to the man he became. The transformation always came first. The reward always comes second. He is simply living at last in the season of the second. The sign of this stage is unmistakable, and it is beautifully quiet. The silent builder does the things that once required his entire strength, and he does them without noticing. And this is the key. He has stopped talking about them. The awakened man could not stop talking about his revelations. The struggling apprentice announced his efforts, seeking encouragement to survive the pain. But the silent builder has gone quiet. He no longer needs to be seen trying, because trying is no longer what he is doing. He is simply building calmly in silence and letting the results speak in his place. But the boy found that even this good stage holds a gate, and it is a subtle and dangerous one. Because the danger here does not come from failure, it comes from success. The first real results are intoxicating in their own way, and they can quietly summon back the old instincts a man thought he had left behind in the valley. A little success whispers that he can ease off now, spend a little, rush a little, let the arrogance creep in. It tempts him to become, once more, the very man the struggle burned out of him. The boy watched people climb all the way to the silent builder and then quietly unravel, undone not by hardship, but by the first taste of winning. The gate of this stage is to stay the same person in success that you became in struggle, to let the results grow while you, on the inside, remain calm, quiet, and unchanged. The man who holds that line is no longer the creature who began this journey. The victim is unrecognizable in him now, but there remains one final stage. And the boy discovered, to his surprise, that it is not about money at all. The fifth and final stage surprised the boy more than any other, because he had spent the whole journey assuming it would be about money, and it was not. He called it simply the free. And what made a man free, he discovered, was not a number he had finally reached. It was that money no longer ruled him. Look carefully at what that means, because it is the whole secret of the stage. The free man is not free because he has so much that he never thinks of money. He is free because money has stopped commanding him from the inside. He is not driven by the fear of losing it. He has built a life where loss cannot destroy him, and he has cut the identity that made loss feel like death. He is not driven by the hunger to have more. He wants, but the wanting no longer owns him. And he is not driven by the need to prove anything with it. He has nothing left to show, because he stopped keeping score against other men long ago. Money has become, at last, exactly what it was always meant to be, a tool in his hand, and not a master over his heart. And here, the boy found the most important truth of the entire journey. Many wealthy men never reach this fifth stage at all. They have the coins, great piles of them, and yet the money still rules them completely. They lie awake in fear of losing it. They are ruled by the hunger for more that no amount ever satisfies. They spend their lives proving their worth through it. They have arrived at the destination of the coins and never once made the inner journey. And so they are rich and unfree at the same time, which the boy came to see as one of the saddest conditions a man can be in. And meanwhile, he knew men of modest means who had reached the fifth stage genuinely, who held little and were ruled by nothing. Freedom was never the size of the pile. It was who held whom. So look back now at all 5 stages and see the truth running beneath them. The victim blaming, the awakened seeing, the struggling apprentice enduring the valley, the silent builder transformed at last, and the free, ruled by money no longer. You cannot skip a single one, and the money was never the cause of the movement between them. It was only ever the reflection of it. The man changed, and the coins followed, always in that order, never the reverse. Which is why the question in the title was never really about your purse. Where are you now? Does not mean how much you have. It means which creature you have become. And that is a question only you can answer honestly tonight, if you are willing. Find your stage, not the one you wish you were in, the one you are truly standing in. Name the gate in front of you, the specific one that stage demands, and take the single step through it, because that is the only way anyone has ever moved from broke to free, one stage at a time, from the inside out. The boy watched 100 men make this journey, and 100 more refuse it. He never could tell at the start which would become which. Neither can you about yourself tonight. Only the next stage will tell, and only if you walk toward it. Where are you standing right now? Sit with that honestly. The next fable will still be here when you are ready to keep changing.